So with our gorgeous Miss Sophie, ready cutie? We're gonna see if we can work a little bit with some of our play and sort of getting that on-off switch and getting her to get excited and then come back from it. So we'll see if she wants to play a little bit. Ready? Go get it. So we may find with our gorgeous gal, I think she and Mr. W are huge fans of the sheepskin tuggy. She says, hold on, there's a crumb that she lost over there earlier. So ready? You gonna play? She's like, no, there's some really good smells in this corner. Ready? I know by the end of the day, they're all very, very pooped out. You're gonna go get that bad boy. Nice. So again, I'm just gonna have her go chase it, but I want her to be able to catch it. There we go, good girl. So getting your beauties to practice grabbing, letting go, exchanging, getting excited, taking little breaks from that excitement is all gonna be really helpful for the real world setting too, when your babes may see something and they may not be able to go get it. So getting your, she's like, oh, there's a tennis ball down here. Whoa, wild woman. You're a wild driver. So let's say, for example, if your puppy can't practice playing with you and going from excitement to sort of settling again, how are they going to be able to handle like critters or distractions and all that fun? Oh, that's some very nice check-ins, ma'am. So right here for these beautiful little check-ins she's offering, I'm going to feed her for this lovely eye contact. She's like, greatest day of my life. If she's a little bit jumpy, nice. I'm just going to wait for the moment she offers the skill I'd prefer or help her get there. Because if we're constantly saying, no, off, down, stop it, that's enough, then we might actually be getting them a little confused because we're using a lot of words that don't always make sense to them. But then we might actually be getting them excited, hearing us barking while we're doing things that maybe we don't love them doing, but they might get a little confused. Nice. You caught that bad boy. She's like, I'm ready. Go get it? Go get that toy. She's getting so tired. Oh my goodness, so winded. Go get that toy. Nice. So, but I know you guys, I think, do have a flirt pole, which is awesome because she's definitely a huge fan of it. Is the rope even good too? Maybe we'll do a little find it. Nice. So, but maybe we'll take a little breather. What do you think from our toy for a moment? She's like, I don't know yet, lady. And we'll see if we can work a little bit with some weights and practice that recall from the weight. And we'll see how she's doing. Ready, cutie? Good shake off, ma'am. So with our gorgeous gal, let's say we're going to try a little bit with some weights with her in just a second. Weight is going to be different than your stay. So I know we've discussed where stay is almost like statue stay or stationary stay, and you're feeding your babe for being stuck. With the weight, you're actually going to be feeding her for when she moves towards you or she gets released to go do that thing. So for some of them, it could be wait and they get released to go eat their food, or it could be wait and hop out of the car when it's safe to do so. That's where, again, weight is just hold back, and then the movement is typically what we're feeding for. So ready, Sophie? Come. So we'll see if she does a little response. I know she's a bit tired. So let's say right here there's no response, because sometimes too there's going to be moments where your babes do get a little lost in the environment. Ready? Sophie, come. Yes, what a good girl. But she's not racing over like she tends to do. So this is, again, her getting a little bit tired. Ready? So we're going to get a little sit if we can. She's like, my brain is melted. And if, let's say, she's a little bit pooped out, ready? I'm going to go right to her little sniffer if I'm losing her, regain that attention. She's like, oh, that does look delicious. Ready? Sit. She's like, my brain. And again, if we lose her, just going to see if I can get her to do a little sitting. She's like, the noises in the building. Nice. So we'll tell her to wait. And then Sophie, come. So you'll see that I didn't instantly add distance or more difficulty to this exercise. If she's already finding it challenging to hold back in general, sit, then we want to make sure we're starting at a starting point that seems attainable. She's very sleepy already. She says, wrestling with Winston, she's all set. She gets pooped out. Ready? We'll try a little sitting. She's like, I guess. And if, let's say, there's moments like we've discussed in class too, when your puppies are sometimes, again, giving you a hard time, they're having a hard time. So these moments where she's like, you've asked for the sit, but then she's like, oh, and she just walks away, this could be the only way your puppy says, you know what, kind of checking out. I'm maybe too tired. Maybe I'm feeling overwhelmed. So if there's moments where she's not as responsive, I would recommend, ready, Sophie, come, is work the simpler version. So simpler version could be find it, get her up and wiggling, and then Sophie, come. Yes, nice job. So sometimes if maybe starting off sitting is too hard, start off with a couple find its and then work the orientation to you that way. So Sophie, come. Yes, what a good girl. Because if we're constantly saying something and it's not registering, is she then learning about that skill? More than likely, no. Yes. So sometimes if you're too slow to ask, and like, let's say I'm blabbing, so I didn't get to say, hey, you come on down, you could also go ahead and just feed for when the puppy, she's like, those ones are awful. She starts to like not want her kibble, even though it's mixed in with nice snacks. Towards the end of the day, she's like, I've had it. So ready? Sophie, come. Yes, what a good job. So, but when practicing, I would highly recommend to, when she's having a hard moment, see if you can lower the criteria or see if you can alter the environment if it's something you can control. So, outside versus inside, the kitchen versus the living room. You might have certain zones where she does better with one versus the other, and do that. Two, if let's say she is toy driven, so I know I have a few tennis balls over here that some of the babes were playing with earlier. And the tennis balls would be perfectly sized for the littles. I would be a little bit cautionary for bigger babes using tennis balls. I normally go for bigger balls than this for my guys. So you may find toys, like we mentioned for Mr. W, are maybe more motivational than food at times. So ready? So we might do a little bit, see if we can do a little bit with exchanging maybe one for the other item. Ready? Go get it. And maybe she's toy driven for balls, maybe not as much. She could be a little tired. So close. Ready? Go get it. And she's like, nope, I've had it. You are way too cute though, ma'am. She's like, I know. She's a wild lady. So right here, when she offers that beautiful sitting on the floor, I'm going to feed for that. If she's not feeling tennis balls, who cares? We'll go into working a little bit with maybe some engagement, loose leash walking with me again. So remember, if you have to rotate through several little skills, that's better than trying to do one and then having it never really go where you'd like it to go. So I'd rather rotate through a few different skills, feel like we're getting some progress through some of the steps of each, than trying to find that we're getting nowhere with one of them. Nice. What a good job. Yes. Beautiful loose leash walking. And I know we're off of gear right now. Nice. So maybe now as we're getting some more engagement, we can then try and maybe see if we can get another little weight potentially from this gorgeous gal. Just going to see if I can rotate through some of my snacks. They've mixed around a little bit. Let's see if we can get a newer, stinkier friend that you haven't seen in a while. So we might try with this bad boy. Ready to get a little sit? Just going to try it maybe. My brain is melted. She's like, my boyfriend is saying, where are you? Ready? So if, again, she's not going to rock it, I might, again, skip the cue, see if I can just lure her into the position and see if we might get it. Ready? If, again, we're definitely not rocking it because she's maybe just too fatigued, there could be moments where, again, you have to rotate and see what is working for the time frame. So we might try a little sit, see if it happens. She's like, I don't know. I'm so sleepy. She's a wild woman. We're going to see if we can try to get one. Yes. So I don't keep repeating it. I might see, is it a possibility for you? So remember, me asking for a skill does not have to be like a command where if she doesn't do it, then she's being disobedient and therefore not being a good girl and therefore maybe needs to be sort of scolded or punished. I would highly recommend view it as a could you or how are you feeling? And then if, let's say, she really cannot do something, that's probably a window into how she's feeling for her comfort range or for her abilities, or potentially maybe the environment is too stimulating. Nice. Beautiful little find it. Sophie, come. There we go. We're getting some more of that wiggles. Nice. So definitely make sure that if we are asking for something, is it within the puppy's comfort range and understanding? If, let's say, we're not doing so well because whoever knows, maybe she's just not feeling it, maybe it's a growth spurt, maybe she's too tired, there's a lot of factors. But if your babe is not doing well, we do want to alter our setup or how we're going at about that behavior or skill set so we can hopefully create a good response. Because if we just keep blabbing and it's going in one ear out the other and they're really not sure as to how to do something, then how are we helping them learn when we as a teacher can't notice that they're maybe having a hard time at that point? Nice. So all this lovely orientation to me from this loose leash walking, really pretty where she's staying nearby. She's like, did we drop one? Yeah, that was one of the ones you didn't want earlier. Yes. Nice. So we'll probably give our gorgeous gal a little break. I don't know if she'll go for the crunchy. Oh, maybe. Good job. So Miss Sass is doing stellar. I know we have one more round of our lovely day school, and then I know there isn't another new round till January. Though she did register, I saw she registered for the upcoming confidence building class. So I'm very excited that she's going to rock that with you guys. I think you're going to have a really good time with it. But if you have questions or concerns along the way while she's in different classes, feel free to check in. But we're probably going to give it, a little bit of a break now. She seems pretty tired, and she's done a really good job again for her stay. So nice, ma'am. Ready? We're doing a little find it. But just keep rocking and rolling. If there's certain skills that you're really having a struggled moment with, reach out. I don't want to feel like, again, she's sometimes, working one thing here, but then there's another thing at home that's not going so nicely. So, but we'll give our gorgeous Miss S a little breather. Ready? We'll do a little find it. Go get it. And then we'll call it a day for the lovely lady, but really nice job again. Wild woman.